Now today we will do the numericals on the topic moving charges and magnetic field. So you can see here in your book question number 39. I am showing the question to you. On a 30-degree inclined smooth plane, a thin current carrying rod is placed parallel to the horizontal ground. The plane is located in a uniform vertical magnetic field of 0.15 Tesla. The mass per unit length of the rod is 0.30 kilogram per meter. Find the current required to keep the rod stationary. Means how much current will be required to keep the rod stationary. It is clear. Here it is given the things which are given, quantities which are given. You can note down question number 39. Here B equals to given 0.15 Tesla and mass per unit length m upon L, it is 0.30 kg per meter. It's clear. This magnetic field is directed perpendicular to the plane of, it is directed vertically upward, uniform vertical magnetic field. Now see here what will be the position here. You can see here this is the horizontal ground and suppose this is a inclined plane, and over this inclined plane this current carrying wire is lying, this current carrying rod is lying. It's clear. Now if you see here, so current will flow through this pin. What is the direction of magnetic field here? It is given vertical, means the magnetic field is vertically upward while the conductor is lying along this. What will be the angle between direction of current and direction of magnetic field? If I show you, it will be something like this. I am showing here. Here this is the current carrying conductor which is placed like this on this horizontal inclined plane, which makes 30-degree angle from the ground, and magnetic field is vertically upward as shown by the blue sketch pen. So what will be the angle between I and B? Angle between I and B will be equal to 90 degree. Now if you see here the direction of force, suppose here current is flowing in this direction. So what is the direction of force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in external magnetic field? So it is vector I cross vector IL cross vector B. Current element vector is along this direction. It's clear. B is vertically upward. So see here what will be the direction of force acting on this. So direction of force acting on this will be in this direction. It will be in the horizontal direction. You can see here. It will be in the horizontal direction, parallel to the ground. Parallel to the ground. So this I am showing you here in the diagram. You can see these things here in the diagram. Here this is the horizontal ground and this is the inclined plane. It's clear. And here I am showing only the cross section of the wire, cross section of the rod. Only cross section of the rod is shown here. You can see here magnetic field is vertically upward. What is the weight of this? Weight will act in this direction. Here angle theta is given 30 degree. Now force will act, this magnetic force will act on this in this direction. It will be equal to magnetic force. It's clear. So here you can resolve mg in this direction. What will be the component of mg in this direction? So when you will see here, it is this angle is 30 degrees. So this angle you can take 60 degree. This angle will become 60 degree. So what will be the component of mg along the incline and down the incline? Mg cos 60. While the component of this magnetic force along the incline, it will be equal to, this is 30, so this angle will also be equal to 30 degree. And what will be the component? It will be Fm cos 30 degree. Fm cos 30 degree. This we can also write mg sin 60 also. It's clear. But I have evaluated this angle. It is very simple. This is mg, this angle is 90, this is 30, so this will be equal to 60. It is clear. So see here, this rod will remain stationary. Where is the pen? Rod will remain stationary on the inclined plane. Current carrying rod remain stationary on the inclined plane when force acting on it along the incline towards downward direction, towards downward direction means force is acting along the incline but directed down the incline, is equal to force acting along incline in upward side. So see here, what will be Fm here? If you find Fm, so you will get Fm equals to what? Fm will be equal to IBL sin 90 degree. That is equals to IBL. It is equal to IBL. In equilibrium, already I have told. Equilibrium. Mg cos 60 is equal to Fm cos 30. Now you substitute the value. Mg cos 60 is, it is 1 by 2 equals to Fm IBL. Cos 30 is how much? That you know, root 3 upon 2. It's clear. So what will happen? Here you have to determine the value of the current. So 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So from here what will be I? So that I am showing you here. What will be the value of I? If we see here, if we calculate here, then it will be equal to, you can find mg equals to root 3 IBL. So what will be I? I equals to mg upon root 3I into B, L into B, because I you have to evaluate. So now you rearrange the term 1 upon root 3 into M upon L into G upon B. Now substitute the value. So 1 upon root 3 M upon L, it is already given 0.30 kilogram per meter, 0.30 kilogram per meter, and B is given 0.15 Tesla. So on substituting here, it is 0.30 into 0.15. So when you will calculate this, it will come out 0.3 into 0.15 divided by 1.732. So it will come out 0. Here something I have, here there is some mistakes anywhere in putting the values. You can see here mg, yes, G value of G I have not put. You can see here value of G is how much? 9.8. you can take. Value of G I have not put here. This all the values I have put wrongly. You can see here what was the mistake, you can see. So when you will substitute, so it will be 1 upon root 3. Mass per unit length is how much? It is 0.30. Then what is the value of G? 9.8. And then what is the value of B? It is 0.15. So when you will simplify, it will be equal to 0.3 upon 0.15, that is 2 times. So 2 into 9.8. It will be cancelled out. You can see here. This is 15 1 job and 15 2 job. It's clear. So that you can cancel. So upon root 3. So this is equals to 19.6 upon 1.732. So you calculate it because you have calculator. Therefore, there is no need to rationalize. Divided by 1.732. So it is nearly 11.3 ampere. 11.3 ampere. So this way you can do. It's clear? Yes. Now I am going to tell you the other question here. Now you can see the question number 42, and this question has been asked in the board examination. In your book, it is the question number 42 asked in 2018. See here. Question number 42. Calculate the force per unit length acting on the wire B. Wire B is this wire. Due to the current flowing in the wire E. It's clear. So see here. First you make the diagram here. I am making here separately. Question number 42. This is the wire B. This is wire A, and they are situated in vacuum. It is given here. This is carrying 20 ampere current and it is 15 ampere current. What is the separation between them? It is given R equals to 1 centimeter. This separation is given 1 centimeter. It is clear. You have to find the force acting on the wire B due to the current flowing in this. So as you know that what is the formula of force acting in between two straight parallel wires? So force acting per unit length. force acting per unit length that you have to evaluate, and already we know the formula of force acting per unit length. F upon L equals to mu naught upon 4 pi 2 I1 I2 upon R. Now as we know that this force will be attractive if they are carrying the current in same direction, means wire A will pull to the wire B, means the force will act in vertically downward direction. It is clear. Now see here, as wires carry current in same direction, therefore they will attract, and when they will attract, then force A will exert force on B in vertically downward direction. Because then only it can attract. B will exert the force on A in what direction? In upward direction, vertically downward direction. So now you evaluate the magnitude of the force. What will be the magnitude of force? So you take one value as I1 and other as I2. So what will be F upon L? So mu naught upon 4 pi 10 की power minus 7. This is 2 into 20 into 15. And what is the distance here? R is 1 centimeter, that is 1 into 10 की power minus 2. So when you will simplify 20 2 cha 40 and 40 into 15, that is 600 into 10 to the power minus 5, 10 to the power minus 7 and 10 to the power minus 2. So this will be equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 3. This, it will be equal to this Newton per meter. Actually here if you see, this is not 15. In the question it is given 75. In the question here it is given 75. So when you will do 75, then it will become 3000. So it will be equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 Newton per meter. So directions I have shown you. Now after this, here there is one more question, question number 41. Here this is the question number 41. A 60 centimeter long wire mass 10 gram is hanged by two flexible wires in a magnetic field of 0.40 Tesla. It is hanging in that magnetic field of 0.40 Tesla, which is in vertically downward direction. It is shown in the diagram by the cross edge. Find the magnitude and direction of current required to be flown to the neutralize the tension of the hanging wires. Here there will be tension in the hanging wires because of the weight of this rod. It is clear. Tension in the hanging wire. See here, this you can write here. Question number 41. You have to find the current, magnitude of current and its direction. So see here, it is something like this. This is the and wire is this. This is the magnetic field. It's clear. So here its weight will act in vertically downward direction. It can be neutralized only when, because of this weight, tension will be created in these hanging wires. Now here it can be neutralized only when the magnetic force is acting in vertically upward direction. It is acting here in vertically upward direction. It is clear. It will be something like this. I am showing you here. Here it is this. This will be the magnetic force. It is clear. Now you have to find the direction of current. So see here, direction of current, how will you find here? So it will be equal to, here it should be in such a way that the magnetic force should act in vertically upward direction so that it neutralizes the weight. So I am writing here, tension in the wires tension in the wires will be because of weight of the long wire, will be because of weight of long wire, which is acting in vertical downward direction. In order to neutralize weight, magnetic force should act in vertically upward direction. Magnetic force should act in vertical upward direction. Now see here, for this what should be the direction of current? What should be the direction of current so that it act in the upward direction? So see here it should act in what direction? See, it is I, B, F. It's clear. Here this is. Now listen here there is some mistake in marking the magnetic field. It's clear. You can take the magnetic field here actually this way. This is the direction of magnetic field. Otherwise it will not come. It's clear. Magnetic field is in this direction. It's clear. Along the plane of paper upward. It is not in vertical downward direction. It cannot be in vertical downward direction. It's clear. It cannot be in vertical downward direction. This you can understand from here. This is the wire. Here tension in these parts will be zero only when its weight, which is acting vertically downward, is balanced by the magnetic force. Magnetic force should act in upward direction. It's clear. So if magnetic force is acting in upward direction, then magnetic field cannot be vertically downward. Magnetic field cannot be vertically downward, because as we know that in this formula, vector F equals to vector I L cross vector B. All the three are mutually perpendicular to each other. So here F will act in this direction, mg will act in this direction. There is no freedom in this. It's clear. Mg will always act in vertically downward direction. Therefore, in order to keep the tension in the hanging wires zero, magnetic force should act in upward direction. And if magnetic force is acting in upward direction, therefore magnetic field cannot be this. So magnetic field is actually this, which is wrongly shown in the book. In the book it is not shown correctly. It is clear. So you can see here it is on the plane of paper, but towards the upside. This on the plane of paper towards the upside. So you can see here it is IBF. This is here I is current is flowing in this direction. I is this, B is this. So F will act upward. F will be upward. Fleming's left hand rule. This is the direction of I. This is the direction of magnetic field. So F will be the direction of magnetic force. It is clear. So see here. Therefore, for this current should flow in what direction? From this side to this side, means from left to right, you can say. It's clear. Therefore, for this current should flow from left to right. Left to right. Now you write down here. So here Fm equals to m into g. Fm means magnetic force. What will be the magnetic force? It will be IBL sine 90 degree equals to mg. You substitute the value. I you have to find. B is given how much in the question? 0.40 Tesla. And L is given 60 centimeter. 60 centimeter long wire. It's clear. Mass 10 gram. Here 60 upon 100. Sine 90 is 1. Mass is given 10 gram, that is 10 upon 1000. Into G is 9.8. So you simplify, this 0 will be cancelled. It will be equal to how much I am calculating here? I into 2.4 equals to 98 upon, so 0 and 0 cancel. So I equals to 98 upon 2.4 into 100. Or this will be equals to 98 upon 240. And when you will calculate this 98 upon 240, it will come out 240. That will be 0.408. That is 0.41 ampere. 1 ampere. This will be equals to 0.41 ampere. This will be the current. It's clear. Now you can see some more questions here. Here these are the tough ones. I have taken those questions which are slightly tough. Now you can see here some questions on the cyclotron. Question number 47 in your book. You can see here question number 47. A cyclotron accelerating protons has the dij of 0.4 meter. That is, it is capital R radius and radio frequency supply of 12 megacycles per second. That is the nu naught, the alternating potential which has been applied in between the space of both the dij. So 12 megacycles per second at 5000 volt maximum value. Calculate the magnitude of required magnetic field, the end energy and velocity acquired by the proton. Take mass of proton to be this. So you can see here, first you write down all the things. So all of you wait for a minute. So you note down all these things what are given here. Here capital R equals to 0.4 meter. The nu naught, the frequency of AC source, it is 12 megacycles. Megacycles means 12 into 10 to the power 6 hertz. This cycles per second. Voltage V equals to 5000 volt is applied. Calculate the magnitude of the required magnetic field that you have to find. It is clear? Magnetic field you have to find that what will be the magnitude of magnetic field, and then the energy and velocity of required by the proton. Here mass of proton is given 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Now see here, as we know that from the working condition of cyclotron, this frequency, the frequency of applied AC source should be equals to the frequency of revolution of the proton. It's clear? That is the working condition. So see here, I am writing here the same thing. From working condition of cyclotron, condition of cyclotron, frequency of applied AC EMF equals to frequency of, F means frequency of revolution of charged particle. So as we know that what is the period of revolution, T equals to 2 pi m upon QB. You know here, I am writing here T equals to 2 pi m upon QB. So what will be the frequency? Frequency will be equal to, here nu naught, this is represented by nu naught, and frequency of revolution, it will be reciprocal of this, that is equals to QB upon 2 pi m. QB upon 2 pi m. You can see once again, from the working condition of the cyclotron, it will work only when the frequency of applied AC source becomes equals to the frequency of revolution of charged particle. Now what is the frequency of revolution of charged particle? It is the reciprocal of time period. Time period is given this. So what will be its frequency of revolution? Reciprocal, that is this. Now you can substitute the value. So when you will substitute the value, so you will get the magnetic field. Here it is 12 into 10 to the power 6 equals to Q. What is the charge on the proton? Charge on the proton equals to 1.6 into 10 की power minus 19. B you have to find, and 2 pi m 2 into 3.14, and mass is given 1.67 into 10 की power minus 27. So you simplify this. So 1.2 into 10 to the power 6 into 6.28 into 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by 1.6 into 10 की power minus 19. So you simplify, I am simplifying it here. You can see 1.2 into 6.28 into 1.67 divided by 1.6. So it is equals to 7.86 into, here it is 10 to the power 25 and this is 10 to the power minus 27. This is 19, so it is equals to 10 power minus 2. You can see the calculation once again. Here it is given, this is 12 into 10 power 6, so this is equals to 78.6. It is 78.6 into 10 power minus 2. So this will be, because this is 12, you can see here this is 12, so here also it will be 12, equals to 0.786 Tesla. This will be the magnetic field. Now you have to find the energy and velocity acquired by the proton. It is clear how much energy it will acquire and how much velocity. So see here, what will be the velocity? Velocity will be corresponding to this, that will be the velocity. So I am finding it here. Here you can see second part here, velocity of proton. What will be velocity of proton? So it will be equals to R equals to mv upon qb. Here this v is velocity. So v equals to qbr upon m. Now you substitute v equals to q 1.6 into 10 की power minus 19. B is how much? B is given here, you have already calculated 0.786. R is given 0.4 meter. It's clear. Upon m. M is given 1.67 into this. So when you will calculate this, so it will come out, I am calculating it, 1.